Hey guys, thanks for joining us. It's August 31st, 2019. We're recording on Saturday because a bunch of news just came out today. So this Perry.
This is Justin.
See, I mixed it up a little bit there today.
I feel like that was a test, and I passed.
You could catch our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
And this is Clock Management. All right, thanks guys for joining us. Perry, you want to tell everyone what we got going on here? I mean, we're in the same room again.
Yeah. So this weekend, we mentioned it last episode, but we're at PAX in Seattle. It's the Penny Arcade Expo, huge video game, board game conference, all things nerd. It's been a lot of fun. We're on day 2.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, we're on day 2. This is Justin's first time here. I've been here 10 or 11 years in a row. I go all 4 days. Justin's learning that.
Yeah, 2 days is plenty for me.
Yeah. So we're in Justin's hotel right now.
Yeah, it's cool. Today I actually went and checked out a whole bunch of board games. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then got to play a few of them with some people. And then I went back to the video games later in the day. And I'm gonna go back and get into some more right after this.
Yeah, it's massive, huh?
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let's get into some football.
Yeah. There's been a ton of news in the last 48 hours.
Wow.
Essentially.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So we'll just get right into it. What's the biggest news of the day here? What do you want to start with?
Oh man. Well, this isn't the biggest news of the day, but I like a lot because it has a lot of fantasy relevance. Carlos Hyde got traded to the Texans.
Yeah.
From the Chiefs, which I think there's a lot of implications.
I think this moves the other 2 Chiefs running backs up.
Yeah, Damian Williams and what's his name? Darwin Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both exactly. I love both of them
up.
right now. I actually just did a draft today, and I drafted. I didn't get Williams, but I was able to get Thompson, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I actually don't think this hurts Carlos Hyde all that much. I actually think it might be an improvement for Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, it's a win for every Chiefs and former Chiefs player.
Yeah.
But who it is not as great for is help me out here on the Texans. They just brought him in.
Yeah, from the Browns.
Yeah, DJ. God. Yeah. I'm drawing a blank on his name. That's embarrassing. Okay.
I think I've been walking around looking at video games too much today.
Right. But yeah, so it sucks there because, he just went from being their number one back, Duke Johnson,
yes.
To now he's competing for that number one spot with Carlos Hyde, who are both brand new to the team. So,
well, I think Duke Johnson has always been a good third down back, and he'll probably continue doing that. And Carlos Hyde might be their first and second down back.
Yeah.
So Carlos Hyde actually might be very startable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's great, and they also just brought in a new offensive lineman, a very good offensive lineman, which is going to help him out too.
Yeah,
which we'll get into that as well.
It sounds like the Texans had a really good couple days,
24 hours.
But really, they didn't.
Oh yeah, with what they gave up.
They gave up so much, and they lost Jadeveon Clowney, which is another piece of our news. Jadeveon Clowney getting signed with Seattle.
Yeah, that's huge.
The only fantasy relevance really is how good the Seattle defense is probably going to be this year.
Oh, yeah, that's as a 49er fan, I was very upset about this.
Yeah, no kidding.
Melvin Gordon, the Chargers just gave him the okay to go search for a trade partner.
Yeah, finally. We're calling this good news. I don't know. It feels weird calling it good news, but he's probably not going to be a Charger this season. I don't think the trade will happen. I don't think the trade will happen anytime soon. I think we're still
week 1 he's not playing.
Yeah, so even if he does get traded, say tomorrow, he's probably not playing week 1. So just prepare for that if you did draft Melvin Gordon. But hey, it sounds like maybe we might be able to see him at some point this season. So
yeah, that'd be cool. Really help those of you out who drafted him. So.
Yeah, and we always pair Melvin Gordon news with Zeke. So we'll get right into the Zeke news, which is apparently contract talks have intensified, and they really want to have a deal done by the end of the weekend. Now, I think that sounds great, right? That's what we want to hear. But I feel like we've heard a lot of things we want to hear with this situation, and then we've heard a lot of things we don't want to hear. So
yeah, it's like it's great news. I hope everything goes through. I'm still a little hesitant on like being positive that they're about to have a deal or anything like that. But yeah, it's all great. That's great news, though.
Yeah.
Moving forward, give you some hope. Hopefully, they don't just give you hope and take it away again.
Yeah, no kidding. I will say, though, Tony Pollard has looked very good. So if Zeke doesn't play, whether it's 1 game or 16 games, Tony Pollard might be a steal and a league winner. So
yeah,
we'll see how that plays out.
And then we got McCoy just got released by the Buffalo Bills.
LaShawn McCoy. I think we touched on this a few weeks ago that he might not even make the team. It seemed a little weird saying that in the moment, but
yeah, and then they were talking about him being their starter. Like the news came out and they were actually berating reporters about this, like, oh, I don't know where you get your news from, and do you guys even watch football? And then all of a sudden he's cut from the team.
Yeah,
that's wild. And last week I was actually talking about not to touch Bills running backs.
Yeah.
Because I said even if or when McCoy got hurt, because I was saying he would get hurt at some point in the season. Mm-hmm. That backfield gets murky with the Singletary and Frank Gore back there, and then Yeldon coming in stealing some carries too.
It's exactly what you said would happen.
Yeah, the GM just came out and said they're going to have a running back by committee.
Yeah, I will say a lot of people are showing. I've been looking on social media, Twitter, Fantasy Pros, everything. Devin Singletary, the hype for him is really high. And I think everybody needs to just kind of pump the brakes a little bit and realize that there's still a lot of running backs there, and they're all going to get work. Hey, by the end of the season, he might be getting a ton of work.
Absolutely.
But
he did rise on my board with this news, but not as much as some people. Some people are really jumping the gun on this, and I saw someone talking about take Devin Singletary in the 7th round.
I think it's a little too early.
Yeah, I don't do that.
There's more useful value at that spot. People that are really going to put up numbers early on. Now, we could be wrong, right? This could be coach speak. Devin Singletary could walk out there and get 70% of the carries. But hey, if I was, we're betting, and I'm betting that's not happening.
Exactly. So. And then,
go ahead.
So we got McKinnon got placed on the IR.
Yeah. Jerick McKinnon
from the 49ers. This was something that we had I had alluded to before. So he got the PRP in his knee. Mm-hmm. I talked about how I had that in my ankle, and I wasn't optimistic with that because I didn't see good results from that, and I hadn't read a lot that was positive about it.
Yeah.
Turns out he didn't have good results from this either. So now he's being placed on IR.
Yeah, and we've been telling you guys the San Francisco backfield it shouldn't be targeted, right? We've been saying avoid Jerick McKinnon. Obviously, we're right about that. Tevin Coleman, I've said it probably 6 times on the podcast, is the guy you want. And I think this kind of clears things up a little bit, and it's good for Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
Probably both ownable. Coleman, again, still the guy that you'd rather have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the good thing, too, with them is Breida, he's still going so late in drafts where if you do get him...
great stash.
You could get him with some value on there.
Yeah, great stash. He's a very explosive player. He's still got a lot of talent, so just don't forget about him. Look at what's on the board when you get late. If he slips by... And falls into those late double-digit rounds, you could be winning. Yeah. Equinemius St. Brown, wide receiver for the Packers, was placed on IR. Justin can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, that's why I kind of
he's
paused on that last one because Perry was trying to get me to say his name, and I just St. Brown. Yeah, we'll go with that and keep it short.
Yeah, so he's placed on IR. He was one of 3 wide receivers that were kind of biting for the 2-3 spot. Now it's pretty obvious. I mean, the number 1 is Devontae Adams. The number 2 is probably going to be Geronimo Allison, and the number 3 is Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So all 3 of them probably ownable, depending on how deep your league is.
Yeah.
But Equinemius St. Brown, IR, won't be playing. So it's too bad for him, but they have a lot of talented
and it clears
young
it up
receivers.
a little bit. So great for fantasy owners.
For sure, yeah.
Kenneth Dixon also.
Yeah, placed on IR.
Yeah. The Ravens love him.
Yeah.
He's been there for 3 seasons now, I think.
I believe so.
And he has not. I think he's played 4 games. It's like something ridiculous.
That's a minor exaggeration.
Yeah,
but
it's not that big of an exaggeration, though, is the point. Like he is always off the field for some reason. He has issues, either off the field issues or getting hurt, but they keep him around.
Yeah, but Mark Ingram, I think this is good for Mark Ingram.
Absolutely.
He moves up my board. I already liked him quite a bit. This makes it better. And then Justice Hill, the rookie running back there in Baltimore.
I think it's huge for him.
Really like Justice Hill. As good as Mark Ingram is, it's not crazy to think that Justice Hill could be the number 1 guy by like week 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's a great late pick that you can get now, especially if your league is doing their draft today or tomorrow. He's going to be super far back in your draft, and you'll be able to just steal him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the last piece of news.
AJ Green?
Yep.
Yeah, AJ Green avoids IR. I guess I didn't really expect him to hit IR.
Yeah, this wasn't something I expected. So when I heard that, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was more shocked that was a headline.
Yeah, I think it's actually it sounds like good news, right? He avoids IR, but I think it's actually bad news.
Yeah, I didn't like to hear that. Yeah.
Right? So obviously the team was considering that he might be placed on IR. So like I said in the last episode, he's one of the guys I'm avoiding. I really don't think anybody should be picking up AJ Green and relying on him to perform, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more almost like taking a flyer.
Yeah. Yeah. I have him in one league. I wasn't happy to see that. But yeah, I think you covered it well.
Yeah. And then something we forgot to talk about, the Texans trading for Kenny Stills and
yeah. And the offensive lineman.
The offensive lineman, right? So I think you and I were just talking while we were waiting for Sean to get home to record. Thanks, producer Sean, you're the man. That this kind of shows that they don't have confidence in Will Fuller and Kiki QT to either be healthy or they haven't had a great preseason /camp. So
yeah, absolutely.
Kenny Stills, I mean, he's a talented wide receiver, NFL wide receiver.
I don't get him on your fantasy league.
I think this is an upgrade for him.
Yeah, I still don't want him on my team though.
I don't either, but I think for waivers, pay attention to him, I guess. Don't draft him. I mean, you and I are in a dynasty league that we got on through Twitter where they had 25 draft picks.
Yeah.
Kenny Stills in that league isn't a bad pick, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Just keep him in mind, right? Put a little note down how to pay attention to Kenny Stills. But I don't know. I think Kiki QT probably moves further down. Will Fuller moves down a little bit. DeAndre Hopkins completely unaffected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually, it helps. That trade helps Watson and the running backs there because they brought in that great offensive lineman to help just shore up their line.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of draft picks, so I think they're really.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They want a Super Bowl now, so and they need to. They've got the quarterback to do it. Finally, they've got one of the best wide receivers in the league. They did lose Lamar Miller, which we talked about last week.
But according to Jerry Jones,
yeah, you don't need a rushing champion to win a Super Bowl. So we'll see how it goes. I like the Texans still, so I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, and so now I got some news no one cares about.
There he goes. That'll make sense in just a second.
So Graham Gano got placed on IR.
So brutal.
I know it's brutal, seems cruel, but he is a kicker, and it's fantasy football.
Hey man,
so it sucks, but kickers are irrelevant.
We have to play. They're not always irrelevant. I've lost to kickers and I've won because of a kicker.
Oh yeah, but predicting, choosing your kicker doesn't matter. Like, just draw a name out of a hat.
Okay, I feel like everybody says that, but what's your strategy for drafting a kicker? Everybody's got one.
Oh yeah, so I try and draft. I got 2 different strategies, because I either try and get one on a high scoring offense, or if all of those are already gone, then I try and justify to myself why getting one on a bad offense is good.
I try to get one on a high scoring offense is number one priority. If those are all gone, an offense that moves the ball well, maybe not scores all the time, but moves the ball well, because they could get into field goal range.
No, I do look at kickers who can kick really long too, because they get more opportunities to kick.
Yeah. I picked up Mason Crosby.
Yeah, I love picking Mason Crosby because we have a friend who's a big Green Bay fan, and I just pick him just so he can't have him.
Yeah, shout out to Darian. No Crosby for you.
I actually have Crosby in our main league.
No, I just got him.
Did you?
Yeah, you don't have him.
You had a higher waiver than me then.
Oh man.
You jerk, I don't have a kicker.
I shouldn't have told you.
I know, right? So my strategy is just not having one.
Okay, so far.
All right, next piece of news no one cares about is Tom Brady's not happy about his new helmet either.
Yeah. Do you think he'll retire?
No, they said that he has not threatened that yet. So Antonio Brown might reach out to him. They might go on strike together.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, speaking of, a couple episodes I was talking about this. I was like, I wonder how much it is for an autographed Antonio Brown helmet. Well, there's good news. I know exactly how much it is, because I now own an Antonio Brown autographed helmet.
And that's news nobody cares about.
I love that I was able to get an autographed helmet from Antonio Brown right now. Oh yeah, and then this definitely some news nobody cares about. This is pretty historic.
This is the best news of the day so far.
Yeah, so for the first time since 1996, the Bills, they don't have a player on their depth chart with the last name of Williams.
Yeah, that's big news.
The first time since 96. That's 23 years by my calculations.
That was quick. That was good.
Thank you.
That's fantasy relevance right there.
Yeah, so if you're trying to construct a team with players named Williams, don't even look at the Bills. I don't know why you would be doing that. It's a horrible strategy. I do remember one year I was trying to there was 2 names that I used to construct a fantasy roster.
There was somebody I saw it on Reddit did Jones and Johnson, and ended up with an actual
That's
pretty
what it
good
was.
team.
Yeah, I did that a couple years. Like it was a few years ago. It was like David Johnson's like rookie year. I did that in one league. It was great.
Yeah. Well, if you're doing the Williams League this year,
yeah, no Bills.
Yeah, you're out of luck when it comes to the Bills.
Yeah, you're billless.
Don't pay your bills. That was stupid.
Unforgivable.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we had to cover today.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to get back playing some video games, though.
Yeah, we'll be back Tuesday with a regular episode and some more news. Good luck with your fantasy drafts if you haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Season starts next week.
Yeah.
Cool. Everybody have a good one.